Anniversary Part 4.
Hey! We're the Ramones. It's really great to be here in San Bernardino. And it's nice to see you. We'd like to do something off our first album now. Take it down.
The Ramones, Johnny, Tommy, Joey, Dee Dee, and later Marky and others, are one of the truly legendary groups in rock and roll history. Their first album, simply titled Ramones, was released in 1976 and jump-started the punk rock movement. As proof of the group's stature and influence as music icons, they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2002. The band, minus their late singer Joey Ramone, attended the ceremony and accepted their award. Sadly, today all 4 original members of the group have passed away. The first and only Inland Empire appearance by the original Ramones lineup took place on March 11, 1977. It occurred at the Eros Bogart Club on East Street in San Bernardino. The club was also known for hosting an early appearance by another Rock and Roll Hall of Fame band, Van Halen. The second Ramones Inland Empire appearance was perhaps their most controversial. It took place on December 1, 1978, at the Swing Auditorium in San Bernardino. By this time, drummer Tommy had left the band and was replaced by Marky. The punk band opened for the heavy metal band Black Sabbath. It turned out to be the concert double bill from hell. This IE show made headline news in the December 4th living section of the San Bernardino Sun newspaper. Staff writer Mark Lundahl, in part, wrote, "Opening for Black Sabbath was one of the most influential new wave bands the United States has produced, the Ramones. The group has captured the attention and adulation of a small cult across the country and across the ocean, but it apparently has a long way to go before it wins over San Bernardino." When the band took to the stage, the crowd started to direct negative energy at it almost immediately. First it was yells, then the middle finger salute. Soon a few Coke cups, popcorn boxes, and tomatoes were thrown at the stage. The rowdy activity then snowballed into a steady rain of hurled trash. Through it all, almost, the Ramones remained committed to their performance. They kept up a steady pace and ran quickly through their short songs, holding their heads firmly against the storm of debris. When lead singer Joey Ramone was hit squarely on the head with a filled Coke cup, some in the audience exploded with glee, and the rain became heavier. Then in the middle of Surfing Bird, an old minor hit originally recorded by a group called the Trashmen, the band suddenly left. San Bernardino had just thrown the Ramones off the stage. No one in the band or audience was hurt, but in their dressing room afterwards, the Ramones were shaken and upset. "Did you see that stage? There are broken whiskey bottles on it," sputtered an animated Johnny Ramone. "I was scared. We didn't even get halfway through our set." Dee Dee Ramone added, "There were kids out there giving me the cross sign with their fingers." Johnny continued, "This is the worst I've ever seen. I think these people came to hear Black Sabbath, and I guess Black Sabbath fans are not our fans," said Marky Ramone. Interviews with some audience members confirmed this. "Punk bunk" was one crowd member's reaction to the band. Others used a variety of obscenities to describe their feelings. Some of the cleaner reactions:
They weren't musicians. They just shook their heads around.
They were terrible.
They were off-key.
It was music for beachcombers.
Purdue doesn't need this kind of junk.
Other bands have been unpopular with swing auditorium crowds, but they were never the target of a trash war. Why this one? One fan who came to see the Ramones said it happened because the crowd felt threatened by the group. Another thought the audience probably came in with a preconceived idea of how it was supposed to react to the band.
That's the way they want it.
People who play punk like pain.
In the aftermath, the tall, thin, and pasty-complexioned Joey Ramone withdrew to the back of the dressing room with his bleach-blonde girlfriend and quietly watched the other agitated band members behind his darkened glasses. "I don't understand. Back a few years ago, we listened to Black Sabbath, too," Joey muttered in a soft-spoken manner. "We are now where Black Sabbath was 10 years ago. Black Sabbath, New Wave, it's all rock and roll. Labels are bull. I think they'll come around." Joey paused and then added, "I think we made a few fans tonight." In part 2 of the Ramones Play the Inland Empire, more reactions to their swing auditorium debacle, and later the group makes a triumphant return to San Bernardino to play the US Festival.
But I'll find her. I don't care where I am, I'll find her. When she's walking down the avenue, when she's hoping that the sky is blue, when she ain't got nothing to do, I'll find her. For the stars in the constellation, I'll find her. When the songs are rocking the nation, I'll find her. When she's talking on the telephone, and when she's acting like she's all alone, and when she's swinging like a rolling stone, I'll find her. Oh, baby, won't you come to me? Oh, baby, won't you hear my song? Come on, baby, come on, baby. I gotta have it right now, and I swear it's taking way too long. Won't you hear my song? Well, come on, baby. Well, come on, baby. Gotta have it right now. I swear to think it way too long. I don't know where she is, but I'll find her. I don't care where I am, I'll find her. I need a girl for a brand new start. I need a girl who won't break my heart. I need a girl who's a work of art, and I'll find her. I'll find her. I'll find her. Yeah.
And welcome to Brown Box. This is an offshoot of Dylan Box. If you notice, there's nothing written on the box, hence Brown Box.
Good title.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm Ryan, and
I'm Chris.
And the gist of this show is we're each going to kind of turn each other on to some music that we, in our own personal collections, that the other person either may not be so familiar with or may not be so hip to. So that's just really quick, kind of just what we're looking at.
Okay.
You want to go first? Or?
No, it's time you go first.
All right, so let me pick out my pick here. So we have, one of my other favorite Bobs. This is a record by Mr. Bob Pollard and his band, Guided by Voices. This album is Alien Lanes, and this is the 25th year.
Oh.
Bob Pollard is a former elementary school teacher who was weekends. He was a rock and roll guy. He's recorded thousands of songs and never really thought of becoming a full-time musician until around the time of this record, a little before this record.
Oh, okay.
And then that's when, and he's been playing music ever since with either like this band or 20 other bands that he does. Okay. So with different people. I discovered this maybe about 20 years ago. I love it because it reminds me of side 2 of Abbey Road, where all the songs just kind of flow together. It's just one after the other. It's about 27 songs, and I think in about a little less than 40 minutes. So, I mean, you're getting like a lot of snippets and kind of like ideas.
Resonance territory there.
A little bit, yeah. But I mean, lo-fi. But the great thing to sell you on is the melody. Is this like the way this guy just writes these melodies? It sounds like, I think he said it like Beatles demos. I mean, it's a very like 60s sounding record, and that's what I love about this and a lot of his other albums. It's just it's amazing.
I didn't know his history. I know about Guided by Voices, but I didn't know that he was no more a teacher. There's a lot of good rock and roll teachers.
Absolutely.
And that he sort of just built his song momentum into this as a gig.
It was a guy, and everyone was telling him, like, you're wasting your time with this band thing, and because he was spending money, he was taking out loans from the school credit union to press records, and then they weren't selling. So it was just like, there's a record a couple before this one. It was like the last one, and his manager, on the slide sent it to all these people, and they started calling him up, and then so it just became, it was the right time. Kind of mid '90s is when they kind of got noticed, and then a lot of other bands kind of gravitated towards it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I love it. It's an amazing record.
So you had heard the earlier albums, or you started with this?
I heard the earlier ones. The first one I heard was Isolation Drills, which was a 2000 release, which was incredibly polished. And the album before that one was produced by Rick Ocasek, and that one, as you can imagine, was incredibly polished. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, this sounds good to me. Let's go check out some of their other stuff. So I went back to a record before this, some of their EPs, that eventually got to this, and I'm like, is this the same band? Like, is it because it was completely like this, the not only the fidelity of it, but like you're hearing like snatches of songs, you're hearing like just different ideas and different styles, but it's all him, and it's all it's all like familiar. Yeah. This one, I don't know why I keep going back to it, because it's like, if you're gonna turn someone on to this band, it's not maybe the best record, but if you're a fan of 60s music, if you like the Beatles, if you like stuff like the Kinks, then this record is for you.
There you go.
Definitely.
Guided by Voices. That's a very good brown box recommendation.
Thank you.
I was taking stock and looking back and thought it might be nice to share about my family, my songwriters group of friends. So I came up with this idea, my songster family.
Well, she's so suburban. She's so suburban. Her vet is gone, so I know she's not home tonight. But I rode the bus from downtown
Brooke's her best friend, and I keep trying to make her see. 'Cause she's so suburban. She's so suburban. She's so suburban. She's so suburban. She's so suburban.
Known Bob Vennum forever. I met him, I think he was 17 years old. He was in two bands, one with me, with my style of songwriting, and then Bob Kjorvestad, who had a very direct, laser-like beam style of songwriting. And Bob Vennum came out of there with the music of his own.
All right, we are Bob and Lisa.
Here we go. This is the first song I ever wrote. It's called Jackie.
Pushing through a crowd on a downtown Sunday afternoon. Just another dime, a train ride away. Never told him why she's running. Guess she wasn't having fun, and that's the one thing she needed every day. He could see her standing in a doorway with a smile. He could smell the perfume in her hair. Where she runs to, he will follow. His heart's too big to swallow, but when he does, he knows she'll be there. Jackie, keep on running away. You're not chased by anyone who hadn't seen their day. Now, Jackie, don't stop running, 'cause if you ever do, you might find out they're not chasing you. Somebody told him that she left not long ago. Borrowed the keys to a brand new car. On a note she leaves her reasons. Money doesn't grow on trees, and besides, she never gets too far. So Jackie, keep on running away. You're not chased by anyone who hadn't seen their day. Now, Jackie, don't stop running, 'cause if you ever do, you might find out they're not chasing you. Jackie, don't stop running away. Jackie, don't stop running away. Jackie, don't stop running away. Jackie, don't stop running.
David Lowery was still pretty young during these early days. I always look at them in terms of the danger days. In that early era, 79, 80, 81, and he brought me a tape of just a million songs that a person filled with promise and eclecticism and intelligence and humor. So I wanted to kind of celebrate, a fellow Redlandser who continues to hone his craft.
The song is called I Sold the Arabs the Moon, and it's sort of loosely based on there's a book called The Autumn of the Patriarch by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, and it's about this dictator, and he basically sells everything off, including the ocean, to the Yankees. And I just like that phrase and that concept. So last year on a USO tour of Iraq, I sort of set a little goal to basically tell the history of the Middle East in 3 verses. So this is called I Sold the Arabs the Moon. That's from my solo record. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. And I was the man who sold the Arabs the moon. The emerald princes, the hands manicured. The servants with luggage, they followed behind. The African concubines, regal and tall. And I was the man who sold the Arabs the moon. They festoon their flags with crescent moon. And I was the man who sold the English the sea. They wanted the afternoon breeze as it bore. The sweet smell of spices from over the sea. The afternoon showers it brought during tea. And I was the man who sold the Arab the sea. I cowered before great battleship guns. Who sold the Yankees the sky? The black of the night and the blue of the day. The endless horizon of hope and desire. Was the man who sold the Yankees the sky, the English the sea, and the Arabs the moon.
met Johnny Hickman, when he answered an ad that we had posted on a 3x5 card at Lear's Music in San Bernardino, looking for a guitarist who wanted to start a band that did original music, influenced by The Clash, by Graham Parker, by Costello, by Tom Petty. Maybe we said Dylan. But John came over and instantly, with Bob Kjorvestad there and maybe Randy Abraham on drums, we started just jamming around and it felt good. And in the break, I showed John a song of mine, and then he showed me a song of his. Our first gig was at a place called My Place or Yours, a very classy name. We were there as a cover band, and yet we snuck one of our songs in between, a song by The Police and something by Devo or something. And the audience didn't know that it was any different. And so I looked at John and he looked at me and we said, aha, here's the future. And we've been writing songs independently and together ever since.
Staying free, just
Tony Fate. I met him. He was outside of my nightclub, The Beat, leaning on the wall, wearing his leather jacket, looking all punk. Says, "Come in, you know, you're scaring the crowd." But he was such a great songwriter from the very beginning, and he and I were able to collaborate for some songs that end up on Early Dangers recordings, like songs like Front Door. He wrote this song called Caravan. It's one of my favorite songs, and it kind of tells how Tony sees the world.
Here comes the caravan, right to your door. Can you hear the bell ringing once more? Don't need no money, you don't live too far, just hop on board. Right where you are, here comes the caravan. Here comes the caravan for you, for you. A peaceful mind is a mighty sword. Here comes the caravan without saying a word. Don't need no money, you don't live too far, just hop on board. Right where you are, here comes the caravan. Here comes the caravan for you, baby, for you. Yeah, 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 yeah. A train without chains, a train of dreams, train of hope and a memory. Lowery days and gentle rain with truth you never throw away. Love is the reason, love is the call. Love has the power, tear down a wall. Don't need no money, you don't live too far, just hop on board. Right where you are, right where you are, here comes the caravan. Here comes the caravan. Yeah, yeah. Here comes the caravan. Here comes the caravan. Look over yonder.
My father died when I was a young man. I wandered for most of a year. And once in a while I still think of him when I see my eyes in the mirror. Time hurts, time hurts, it hurts before you can feel. Time hurts, time hurts, it hurts before it heals. I had a great love and she loved me. I cried when she walked through the door. I watched through the window and mind had changed. I watched for an hour more. Time hurts, time hurts, it hurts before you feel. Time hurts, time hurts, it hurts before it heals. I looked for work for a long time, but I just could not settle down. So I settled down with this bottle, sleep in the river and drown. I see the winds in the mountains. I see the smoke in the tree. I see dreams rising up to the heavens. Come settle down soft in the streets. Time hurts, time hurts, hurts with a pain so real. Time hurts, time hurts, it hurts before it heals.
I met Bob Kjorvestad when I was 5 years old. I was walking into kindergarten the first day. There was this tall kid, and I walked up to him. I said, "Hi," and he grabs my fingers and he bends them back. I go, "Ah." I look back, my mom, cloud of dust. So I looked to my right, and there was a taller kid. And I walked up to him, and I said, "That kid over there, he bent my finger." And the guy told me, "He tried to bend my finger." I said, "Could I be your friend?" He said, "Yes." And he was Bob Kjorvestad, and he took care of me all through elementary school, that's for sure. But then later on, he taught me chords of guitar. And then later on, he encouraged me. He pushed me into writing songs. And we wrote music together. And he was like a comet, just zooming through life. And he had a vision about music that had to be simple and direct. And he out Tom Petty, let me tell you. It took a train to bring him down.